The Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The book is Dave Sherapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are the Bostonian versus the book.
You covered! You covered 12! Covered!
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus the book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sherapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
Well, good morning, guys. How are you? Welcome into another early episode of the Bostonian versus the book. It's been Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for you guys who have been up early, midday show, kind of, morning show, kind of, for you guys on the East Coast. It is a weird day here in Vegas. We'll explain it here in just 1 second. He is Dave Sherapan. I'm Matt Perrault. We are live on our YouTube channel at Boston versus the book, and the same on Twitter, X, replayed on Sports Grid TV and Sirius XM channel 159. It is a Thursday, Dave. What is this wet stuff falling from the sky? What is this?
It's been a while. It's fallen a lot, too. I mean, it is one of those ones where when this is all done, and pretty much every day from where you live, where I live, we can see the strip. Can't see anything right now. Can't even see the mountains behind us. Can't even see the strip. Can't see nothing because it's at low clouds where this wet stuff that they call rain everywhere else is falling. Nobody knows what to do. I think the bus is delayed, all this other stuff. Like everybody calm down. These wiper things that you have on your car.
Yeah, they
push that button and they work.
Kind of, because, it's been 213 days since we've seen any measurable rain. So you got to check and make sure that the wipers actually aren't cracked. Because for a lot of cars, the rubber it's so dried out that it cracks, so they don't work. The water it doesn't like push the water; it just like streaks it across your windshield, makes it worse.
You remember that song, "The wheels on the bus go round and round"?
Of course,
the wipers on the bus go squish, squish, squish. Well,
yes.
We'll find out today if they actually do. Like
they make a really bad noise though, because they can bounce across your. Yeah, because it's not like smooth. Yep, those are all the things that when you grow up on the East Coast, like you don't know about until you move out here, and things are so dry that rubber doesn't really. Like you have to actually make sure, not to be funny, but you got to make sure that it's lubricated so it's actually able to move. So it's just one of those things.
Not just on the windshield wipers, if you know what I'm saying. You got to make sure that rubber is lubricated.
I knew I was walking into that one, but
you said it, but it's true.
Yeah,
it's got to be. You got to be moist. You got to be lubricated. Yeah. And it's raining enough today that you're going to find out today if your wipers work. There's nothing worse. When you find out as you leave to get somewhere on your normal time, 15 to 20 minutes, and you go, oh no, the wipers don't work. This is going to be annoying. Driving like this, trying to wipe, head out the window, raining. It's the worst when your wipers don't work.
And that's funny because in New England, if your wipers were frozen and there was ice on your windshield, you would drive with your window open and you'd be looking out, which is really
guilty.
Really not safe.
100%.
Yeah, I've done it too. Not safe, kids. Don't do that. But yes.
No, don't do that. Kendall, don't do that. Kendall, if you're watching, please, when you drive someday, don't do it. Well, the kids won't even drive. I told you that.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
10, mine's 11. I hope at some point they actually get to drive behind the wheel.
Did you know that the driverless taxis are now fully deployed on the strip?
Yeah.
Have you seen them? I saw them yesterday. I was like, wait, because normally they were in the beta mode where they were 3 at a time that were all moving together. I saw one just randomly off on its own by Luxor. I was like, oh no, they're here and they're deployed. They're by themselves. You can take a driverless. Would you get into a driverless taxi? In the rain?
No. I don't even want to go. I don't even want to go like to the bus stop to get the kid in the rain. It's right around the corner. No, the way people drive is interesting enough.
Right.
Driving in the rain is no good here. I've driven a couple times in the snow, but driving in the rain is the worst.
People, they drive faster than normal.
The roads get slick. It's just, all that oil build up and whatever else, and we don't get any precipitation. So they get slick and people don't realize it. I mean,
Right.
everybody should learn how to drive in the weather.
Whoa.
Should be like a requirement. Like when your kids are young, teach them how to swim, just in case they end up in water somewhere.
Right.
At some point, everybody should learn how to drive in rain and snow, just in case they're in somewhere where it rains and snows and you know how to do it.
Just go slow. It's easy. Just go slow.
People don't go slow here.
No. They go
Everybody's
real
fast.
fast. Because my first ever album that I ever was purchasing myself was Slippery When Wet by Bon Jovi.
Oh, yeah.
And I probably didn't understand the double entendre until I was probably 13.
Ah.
Didn't understand that for a long time.
Yeah.
And then I started driving, and I was like, "Oh wait, there is a triple entendre on this whole thing." They're actually, because it does get really, really slick when you're driving in on the elevated roadways here in Vegas. We have a lot of them that, as you mentioned, there's all sorts of like sand and debris and stuff. And then you throw water on top of it, and it just turns into like a skating rink. It's not even. It's cold today. It's like 39 degrees, 40 degrees. So up high here in the upper elevations, they're getting 2 feet of snow. If you're over 7,000 feet. Here in Nevada, you're getting so if you guys are coming to Vegas for March Madness or something, one of the cool little things you'll see is the white capped mountains. Like they're getting buried up there. So like they're getting real, like legitimate amounts of snow today. So
yes, sir.
There's one ski resort here in Vegas. We do ski here. Yes. They're very happy because they're getting drilled with a ton of snow today. So they'll have all fresh powder for the weekend.
So special shout out to One Snap Bonvy. He's been out shoveling snow back east. Little public service announcement. Don't pass snow plows either. The safest spot is behind them.
Fair.
Keep that in mind. And then Jack Off is here. I'm a truck driver. I love driving in the snow. Well, if you love driving in the snow, then you're a really good driver. Because a lot of people don't.
He's a truck driver. He's got the biggest vehicle on the damn road. When you're driving a truck, you're blasting through
everything. Always
easiest
either though.
Yeah, but he's right though. Like in New England, did they do it in Pittsburgh where they stagger the plows 1, 2, 3, like in a row?
They're professionals. Yes.
Right. So then you get the one jagoff who decides to go around that and gets pissed off about being stuck behind them. And then they try to either on a passing lane or in the breakdown lane or something, they try to get around them. And then that guy causes a massive accident. I've seen that happen numerous times in New England where it's just like the guy thinks he can go around everybody and then he gets spun around and it turns into a whole big cluster. Don't do that. It sucks to be behind them, but fine. Just sit there. Like Bombi said, safest spot is be behind them. Just let them go.
The older you get, the more you learn that patience really is like everything. And you can try to explain it to your kids. You try to explain it to, younger people in your life. Leave earlier. If it normally takes you 30 minutes to get to work, leave an hour and 30 minutes before when it's snowing.
Look at this. It's illegal to do that now. In Ontario, you can't pass it. If you pass those snowplows, you get a ticket.
One Snap Bonvy, that's called an echelon. Matt, when the plows are staggered, it's actually illegal now in Ontario to pass plows in echelon. So what do you get, a ticket?
Yeah, you must. Yeah, we must get a ticket for doing it, which is good. I think that's great. That's safe to see that. That's cool. I like that idea a lot.
I just want to confirm. I just got a text from Newbie. We will be doing Roll Call Friday tomorrow. We will be doing a show at 11:30 Pacific.
Very cool.
We'll be back to the afternoon show.
Good.
He's got some stuff to take care of in the morning, so we're not a morning show tomorrow. We're midday.
Good.
Easton.
That'll be fun. I'm glad you guys are doing that on Valentine's Day. That's good.
Yeah.
So you guys can do that.
Yeah, you're going back to Boston for your Valentine's Day weekend. That's great.
Yeah, hold on that. We got a lot to say on that here in just 1 second. Just a reminder, we are headed to Kentucky, Circus Sports Kentucky. We have full details will be presented most likely Monday. We'll give you the full rundown and the breakdown as to what we are doing, the times, location, everything coming up. But got a lot of people. I know you've gotten text messages. I've gotten text messages from people, friends of mine from the South who are going to make the drive. And they're like, hey, I need to know. I'm like, hold on. It's the 13th. We got a month. Hold on. We got a month about this and tell you guys when we're going to be there and where we're going to be and all the ways you guys can be a part of it, where to stay and how, if you want to come on up to be a part of it. We may do more than one show. We're doing one. We're efforting to do another at some point. So like, if you want to come to Kentucky, awesome. There's a chance we'll be in Nashville. So you could just say, okay, I want to go to Nashville. If you want to see us at the SEC tournament, we're efforting to be at the tournament. So this is going to be a really historic SEC tournament. So unlike anything we've ever seen in terms of ranked teams playing, I mean, it's a crazy bracket and really going to be a lot of fun. So it is going to happen March 12th, March 13th, Wednesday, Thursday. Block those days off for BVB if you can. So very exciting, good stuff. But most likely Monday, right? We'll have a full.
I would think so.
schedule.
I think, you saw there's an email chain and more people, a different person's getting added every time. And I'm like, okay. Just tell us, will there be the wire? We're bringing the cameras, the mics, the lights, everything. Just make sure there's power and give us that Ethernet line and enough seats, because I did get 3 text messages yesterday. It sounds like some of the Indiana crew's coming down to hang out. They got to get passes from the wives or, the others or whatever. I said, yeah, just come and hang out, like whatever. Cause we'll do the show ideally Wednesday at the Book in Kentucky, which is not far from Nashville. And then the games are in Nashville at Bridgestone Arena.
Yeah.
There's places really close to Bridgestone Arena that we've talked to. Haven't nailed anything down yet. I don't want to say, hey, we're going to be here, because I don't know yet. But once we know, hopefully next week, we'll know. And then we're going south.
Yeah.
We're already southwest. We're
Kinda.
actually going
Northeast, kind of.
Yeah, but it's not the Northeast. It's so confusing.
It's a Mid-South.
It's
Headed to the Mid-South, as they like to call it.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
So Pittsburgh can't be the Mid-Atlantic then.
No, it's the Mid-South. You're not.
The
The Atlantic is the Atlantic Ocean.
Oh, it's the Midwest. You like to say Pittsburgh is the Midwest.
Correct. Yes, indeed. It's not the Mid-Atlantic.
A lot of mids. A lot of mids with
also
you
the
right now.
Midwest, but the Mid-South
Midwest.
is Tennessee. Yeah, that would be the Deep South is Alabama, Mississippi.
Oh,
that's Deep South.
that's the Deep South.
Mid-South is Kentucky and Tennessee and North Carolina.
Yeah.
That kind of angle. Virginia. That kind of angle.
Okay.
Since I'm not going to be here tomorrow, I have to discuss something.
Oh,
Because I've been on record.
let me guess. Boston sports.
Nope, not yet.
Oh,
We'll do that obviously, but
Tom Brady.
Nope, not yet. No Brady today. No Brady. So for the better part of,
Did UMass win?
No, they got killed. Sucked. Davidson killed him. Poor Frank Martin. For the better part of 20 years, I have called whatever day Valentine's Day is on, Black whatever.
Oh, here he goes.
Okay. Black Friday, whatever. So since I am
It's different now.
Correct. Since I am participating in this tomorrow, I have a new thing. I feel like I am George Costanza today. I have a new thing I want to have a conversation about, and a new thing we need to discuss.
Is she working right now, or is she watching the show?
I don't know. She may be watching, maybe not. I don't. She's not participating in this, so it doesn't really matter to this. Can you explain to me what today is? Do you know what today is?
February 13th.
No, actually, it's not. It's a new holiday. Today is
a new holiday. This was great. We need more.
Today is a new holiday. Today is called Galentine's Day.
I thought this was a joke on the road.
Nope, this is real. This is Galentine's Day. Galentine's Day is a global holiday, global holiday that celebrates women's friendship. Galentine's Day is typically marked on February the 13th, but could actually be observed any day. Galentine's Day events are typically all-female occasions of mutual, quote, empowerment, a reminder for women to support and uplift one another. Do you know what men call this? Tuesday. That's what we call it. Tuesday. You just get together and have a conversation.
Yeah.
It's a Wednesday. It's a Sunday morning. We don't need a day to do this. This is hysterically funny to me because it's actually become a big thing. It's all over my timeline. Last night, tonight, all big. It's like the balloon industry has been able to convince women that they need to come up with some new holiday, because if tomorrow's not going to go the way you want it to go, because God forbid you're single in this country. All of a sudden, like you're a pariah. So now we have to have a separate day on the 13th where you have to get together with your friends. But if you don't have friends to go out with, now you feel like a schmuck on the 13th and the 14th.
This is real?
This is real.
I really thought you were joking with this.
I'm not kidding.
Are you reading this from The Onion?
I'm reading it from Wikipedia. It's 100% a real thing.
Sometimes this can't be real.
It's real. It's from a park and recreation episode, I guess. So they did this whole thing about like women need to get together on the 13th and be a part of each other. And like, what are we doing? Like, are we just simply trying to make people feel worse about themselves at all costs? Like you have to be in this big group of like 13 girls and you're all going to get together and you're all going to hang out and do your own little potluck supper thing and hang out. Like, what the hell are we doing? It is really, really stupid. Yes, it is the dumbest. Like, I don't like Valentine's Day. In case you don't know this, the reason why I don't like Valentine's Day is because I feel like it tells men how to behave, and we should know how to behave. And I think we do know how to behave. We have been around for a long time. And so I know you do it all the time. You surprise Jessica with flowers all the time. You just pop up and say, here's flowers, honey. Take her out to dinner, give her a gift, all things that men should be doing consistently. What I don't like about Valentine's Day is that if you don't do it or don't do it correctly on that day, you get somehow demerits. You get knocked down because you didn't do exactly what you were supposed to do on this one day because society told you you're supposed to do this. And if you don't participate in overpriced food, overpriced flowers, overpriced candy, well, then all of a sudden you're just not a good partner. You're someone that she shouldn't really be with. You know, he didn't take care of you on Valentine's Day. My gosh, this is not really someone.
Do they talk about this and the possibilities of it on Galentine's Day?
I guess so. Like, it's a setup.
I was just going to say, this sounds like a setup.
Yes. It's 100% setup. Or on Galentine's Day, they're like, oh, what is he going to do tomorrow? What are you doing tomorrow? Like, this is so, like, the idea that you need a day to hang out with your friends before Valentine's Day, because tomorrow's for the significant other. So today is for you and the girls to go and do what? Like, I've been searching, trying to figure out, like, what's the typical Galentine's Day? And it looks like it's some type of event around dinner with these balloons that say Galentine's Day. That, like, if you go to a balloon store today, there's going to be all sorts of Galentine's Day stuff flying around. Like, this is the new way of them taking you and getting your money is with this. So, no. As guys, like,
Will, this... Sorry, Will, this sounds like some bullshit. I'm just, this all sounds like some real caca. I mean, I'm not, nah.
Martinis will be flowing fine. I'm sorry, but what are we doing? Yes, Marcella Under, what are we doing?
I'm watching hockey tonight.
Correct.
I'm telling you that right now. I'm watching USA play Finland. I don't know about no Galentine's, nothing. I'll be on Sports Grid. I'm working. And then I don't know about no. Listen, there's all this pressure.
Right. But we have daughters. Like, our daughters are growing up in this world.
Right.
Where if today or tomorrow they don't have something to do, like, now all of a sudden, like, it's not just one day of depression. Now it's 2 days of depression.
Yeah. Like, they've been working. She's been working on this box. You got to have a box to bring to school for your Valentines to put in.
Really?
So they do this. Yeah. So she's been working and painting this Valentine's box and all
I
this.
feel really bad. I think I completely jaded my daughter. Madeline refuses to do it. She refuses
because a lot of times it's disappointment. You didn't get one from this person, but they did, and who
she thinks it's mean. Yeah, she said if I'm buying it for everyone, it's not special. She's like, why am I giving it to everyone? That just feels like it's not really heartfelt. And she goes, there's nobody I really want to give it to individually. And if I give it to one person, I get in trouble if I give it to just one person. I can't do that. So she says, I'm not doing it at all. I was like, all right, it's decent logic. I have a hard time. Like, I'm not going to force you to do it.
No, I'm all right. That's like Jim Craig. I'm not taking the test. I'm not participating. That's fine. Yeah. But the pressure that mounts with this, young guys, I'm talking to you.
Oh,
like, just do whatever it is that you normally do and make it a little extra, just a little. Like, but you don't have to dinner. All this other stuff. What's that?
Why do you have to go out to dinner? Why do you have to spend money? Why can't it just be
in your young 20s, you got to take one for the team. If that's the day, you take one for the team, or do it tonight on Galentine's Day. Oh, but I'm going out with my friends. You know what? This is when the reservation was for. This is going to be really
Sorry,
good,
honey.
right? And see, and just like, because you always kind of, it's give and take.
Yeah.
See how much, see, like in a Bronx Tale, if she'll reach around and unlock the door.
Oh,
for
good.
you,
Yeah.
So, because there's a lot of pressure, not just to go to dinner or to get the right flowers or to get this, the right restaurant, the right table at the reservations. I mean, you got to perform too. I mean, if you get in the ring, it's a title fight, so you got to make sure you go on top of everything else. You blow the wad and then you got to blow the wad. Like you get whatever, money you got to ship it. So it's an expensive holiday and it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure. It is. I don't know. I'm just saying today's dumb. Like officially today, I
really thought you were joking. I
am not joking. I'm not making this up. This is 100% a real. It's a global holiday now. This is February 13th is now a global event for women across the entire globe to have whatever they want to do today to celebrate women empowerment. Which look, nobody takes down women faster than women. Okay, so
that's the truth.
So we know that. So I am all for some level of like. Be
civility?
Nice. Yeah, like be nice to each
Friendship,
other.
just be nice.
Like put away the switchblade, please. Like let's not go that. So I am a little more on that, but I'm not okay with holidays over it. Like I'm not going to sign up for holidays.
Filled.
It is
holidays.
It is. Don't even.
Now we have a global holiday.
Girls' holiday. Yes, a global
and
one.
You changed one letter of the name of the holiday. That's tomorrow.
That's for women anyway. It's a female holiday anyway.
I mean, I'm all for. We should have our own holiday. We should have.
Well, we've tried to push
day where we just talk about sports and be guys.
They say that, but if you ask a female that, they'll say that's every day for you guys. You guys have that every day, so we have to carve this out for ourselves. I'm like, well, that's your relationship problems, not ours. Like, don't make your issues ours.
It's so funny because when you guys just meet, you start talking about a couple things here and there. If it's not, work or family related, it's sports. There's always that something you can, hey, who'd you grow up liking or whatever. Right. Girls never do that. They never do that.
Some of them do, but they're not necessarily the typical that do that. They're not the norm.
Together on Galentine's Day.
No.
Who they like in the NCAA tournament.
Correct. Yes. So if you're celebrating, enjoy it. But no, I am never going to be okay with.
If you're celebrating Galentine's Day.
Yes, female in the chat. I guarantee you this: Chicago Kristen will not be celebrating Galentine's Day.
No,
I'm saying our brigade members are not pushing these holidays. This is not.
I don't think so. I'll be interested to hear when Jess gets home from work about Galentine's
guaranteed.
Day. Mention it.
I'm going to mention this. They went to. I bet they go to lunch today. I bet a bunch of women go to lunch today. Celebrate Galentine's Day.
I don't know. The whole
office.
The whole office is women.
There you go. The whole office is women. There you go. Round them up. Let's go. We're going for a company event. Lunch. Everybody. Yeah, I agree. What happened last night? So we're all sitting down on the strip, and it flashes across the screen. Alex Bregman has agreed to a 3-year, $120 million contract with the Red Sox. His numbers at Fenway Park could very well be why he decided to pick the Red Sox over offers from the Cubs and the Detroit Tigers, which I probably would have taken the Tigers, just given their propensity to contend. This is minimum 75 plate appearances at Fenway Park. Alex Bregman has an on-base percentage of .490 at Fenway Park. He's only person better than him through 75 plate appearances in the history of Fenway Park is Ted Williams.
That's pretty good.
He's number 2 all-time in slugging. Dave Kingman, 816 slugging. Bregman, 750. OPS, He has the highest OPS for a Fenway Park batter ever.
Man, oh
ever. His last 5 games at Fenway Park, he went 3 for 5, 2 for 5, 3 for 4, 2 for 4, and 2 for 4, hitting home runs in 3 of those 5 games.
I see it in the chat. Mr. Anderson, good to see you, sir. Bregman is going to be a doubles machine at Fenway. That's, yeah. Wow. I mean, Dave Kingman. Anybody remember him?
Yeah.
He had a lot of home runs. Yeah, he wasn't good average.
It's 490 good. Yeah, Betty, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good, Chef B. Yeah. Thank you, Santana, by the way. The Dodgers are the only team to be minus money to win their division.
Yes.
How about that? Minus
right.
450 to win the division, the Dodgers.
But what about him playing second base? He won the Gold Glove at third base last year. It's a Gold Glove third baseman. And the Red Sox are going to play him at second base because they're afraid to move Rafael Devers.
Oh, he has potential to be a Gold Glove second baseman. Guys can field. They can field anywhere, especially in infield like that. Most of the time, the hardest switch is going from one side of the diamond to the other. Let's see. Wow. So Passon said the expectation is Alex Bregman will play second base for Boston. Sources tell ESPN. Even though the Red Sox have top prospect Christian Campbell coming, they saw Bregman having enough of an impact that they offered $40 million a year with deferrals to make the deal happen. Wow, deferrals is just a commonplace now. They've all figured that out, right?
Well, it's essentially a 1-year contract. It's a 3-year deal. Bregman has an opt-out after year 1 and year 2, and then obviously year 3, it's up. So he can play a year, walk, play 2 years, walk, play 3 years, walk, or they can renegotiate. But so the Red Sox essentially have put themselves into a spot that if the kids aren't ready, Roman Anthony, if these kids aren't ready, then you've got other players ready to go ahead of them that they'll play. If the kid, plays so well that he has to be in the field, then you can move Bregman around. I don't think Bregman's going to play second base the whole year. Trevor Story is right now penciled to play shortstop for the Red Sox. He can't stay healthy to save his life. So I don't know how long he plays. Devers should be the DH, but they're concerned because Yoshida, who they signed last year from Japan, who had a really good year, he's been the DH. They don't know where to play him. He's supposed to play second base, but he's not good enough at the position for them to play him at second base. So there's a little bit of a musical chairs going on here for the Red Sox when you have Bregman coming in, because their infield right now is Devers at third, Story at short, Bregman at second, and Cassis at first. That is not a good defensive.
Not a great defensive.
Not a good. Not a good. The whole left side of the infield is not very good defensively, and the whole infield as a whole is not good. Great defensive outfield for the Red Sox. They've got more gloves and talent in the outfield than anybody in baseball, even Dodgers included. But they don't have the offense. Obviously, it doesn't match the same. But defensively, they're incredible in the outfield. The infield's a problem.
The Detroit guys in the chat are a little bit upset about this.
They should be.
JPC the fourth said we didn't want him anyway.
Yes, you did.
Daniel G. This made me unbelievably pissed off this morning. Detroit needs to bring the walls in again.
Make it easier. Yeah, it's a good problem to have, Jimmy Football. I give it to you. It is a good. Yes, Aroldis Chapman did sign with the Red Sox. Yes.
Oh.
And then he showed up at training camp in an armored truck, like he has like a tank that he's driving down to spring training. I would move Devers to first, but they're worried about doing that because they don't think he can play first either. So, there's a problem. Devers should DH. That's what he should be.
When you try to hide a defensive liability at first without giving them at least somewhat proper time and or training to get used to doing that, you take down the whole infield. A bad first baseman doesn't help the shortstop or the third baseman or the second baseman. It makes it worse because they don't make no picks. They
drop outs. I mean, they can give teams 4 and 5 outs an inning because they don't make the easy plays as well as the hard plays. We talked about it last night, but Freddie Freeman cleans up a lot of problems for that Dodgers infield because he's an unbelievable Gold Glove first baseman.
Yes.
So if you've got a guy over there that has, people always talk about the hot corner being really important. I played first, so I'm a little biased. Like first base is not talked about nearly enough about how important it is for your first baseman to have an unbelievable glove. The arm can be suspect at times. You're not throwing as much as you are at the other positions. But if your first baseman can field his position and he can pick balls and get up and move, he's mobile, he can watch the way the ball is going to bounce up the ground, and he can make up for a lot of bad throws, it changes your entire team. Forget the infield. It changes your whole team.
Yeah. And, between the bunt defense and everything
Good point.
else, there's a lot because the bunt is coming back a little bit, at least at the top of the order into baseball, because the steals are coming back. So bunting and bunt defense, first base can't cover up a lot of issues, J-Dow bets. Yes. I'm excited we're talking about baseball. Like this is great. I saw a comment yesterday on the replay crew. Pat Kennedy is his name, primetime wins guy. He's like, oh, you guys are talking about baseball. We'll talk about everything.
Oh,
but
yeah.
this is going to be that time of year where we talk college basketball, we talk NBA, yes, we talk hockey as much as we possibly can, and baseball time. Baseball's going to be good. It may be Dodgers like that far ahead, but the rest of the divisions each have their own storylines.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I think
it's going to be good.
As excuse me, as I said yesterday, I woke up and I was like, huh, okay. So the Dodgers are the rabbit, right? Everyone's chasing the rabbit. But the race to who's going to be number 2, 3, 4, 5 is going to be fun to see who potentially could contend with the Dodgers. They still have to win the division. They still have to win the West, or sorry, the National League, and then they got to win the World Series. So, like, okay, they're going to be the best regular season team by far. They're going to win 110 games. That's fine. Once you get to the tournament, that doesn't matter. Like, it's no longer a marathon. It's a sprint. So do you have 3 arms that can shut down the Dodgers? And can you beat them 2-1, 3-2 type games? If you can win those games through defense and timely hitting, it's still baseball, man. You still got to go out there and win. And if you got the best team, that's great. But sometimes your talent's on the bench and they're not playing. And so I don't care how deep you are. That's great for 162. But what happens in a 7-game series or even a 5-game series? It's a different sprint.
It really is. For you guys that are interested in college baseball, there's probably other shows and outlets to watch and listen to, because not really going to talk about college baseball too much, at least until they get closer to Omaha.
And Omaha's phenomenal. Like, there are people, we know them. Alan Bell does an amazing job with college baseball.
He does.
He kills it. You want to watch college baseball? Go watch Alan Bell on Drive the Line, because he studies it and watches it. We watch college basketball, college football. We don't go like we would talk bean pot. Like, I think we could probably get away with talking bean pot or like college hockey for once in a while, but no one cares. So and no one really cares big picture wise. No one cares about college baseball, on a big picture wise. Even in Omaha, you got to get deeper into the tournament, and then people start to pay attention because, with your guy, when Skeens was out there pitching for LSU, it's like, hey, this is going to be the number 1 pick in the draft. LSU is trying to win the national championship. Yeah. People started talking college baseball, but that's kind of the only time it cracks a show like ours.
Yeah. Noah Beanick is a good one too. He does some stuff for Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Him and Mao, I think, do a college baseball one. He played college baseball, so he's into it. You guys are more than welcome to come put stuff in the chat if you'd like,
put
and
your
talk
plays
about
in.
it.
Absolutely.
We won't. I know I'm watching college softball today, which is going to end up being one of my favorite things about today, because it's that time of year, and they're playing. Missouri's playing Florida State. It's on ESPN. It's down in Florida. I'm going down to Florida the first week of March.
Oh, good.
I'll be there. We locked up the dates.
Good.
We're going to work on maybe a on location show in Florida. At least I'll be on location.
Let's do it.
You'll be here holding it down.
Yeah.
So that'll be good too.
Good. All right. Last night, Canada 4-3 win over Sweden. In overtime, they blew a 3-1 lead. Any concern about the Canadians after last night?
No.
No?
Swedes came to play too. Swedes have to play Canada in Canada, and then they have to play the U.S. in Boston.
Have fun.
They pulled out all the stops yesterday before the game. Montreal does things great.
Yeah, for hockey too. Yeah.
Great for hockey.
Bell Center? Are you kidding me?
Bell Center bring out dignitaries, and then, oh, by the way, we'll bring out Mario Lemieux, the French Canadian, the best player I've ever seen, and arguably, along with Gretzky, the best player to ever play. And he walks out, takes a bow, and sits with Sid, and the place is roaring. They get a power play goal 48 seconds into the game.
A pretty one,
Crosby
too.
with a behind-the-back pass, the blind pass to McKinnon, knocks it in. Place building blows up. The Swedes settled down.
They did.
Played a great road game. The goalie Gustafson made a couple saves. It just kept him in the game, but insane. It was 3-1. I don't want to say that. I don't want to say Canada lost concentration, but it was quick, and Sweden tied it up, and it was like the whole building was like, "Oh my God, we could lose."
Oh yeah, we're watching. We were down there with a bunch of Canadians on the strip.
Yeah,
and when they scored that game-winning goal, it sounded like a World Cup crowd. They were screaming. They were so excited about winning that.
The argument started a little bit last night, and I saw a little bit this morning on socials. Are All-Star games done?
I hope so.
I never want to see an NHL All-Star game again after seeing that. Shut it down for 2 weeks and do this.
But the guys who are playing in this,
yeah,
there's going to be injuries. There's going to be wear and tear. There's going to be concerns about too much hockey. Be the same thing with too much baseball, too much. But I would sign up for a nations tournament in baseball and get rid of the All-Star game tomorrow, because you can play baseball and you could have a really cool, all-star team type of situation for Team USA taking on Canada or Mexico or Japan or other Australia or whatever. I mean, sports, the Big Four at least, it's global. We have people from all over the globe who are playing leagues. I mean, football is the only one that's kind of only American, but everything else is completely, you could do it. You could do this easily with basketball and baseball. Easily.
That's interesting. Shut it down for a week.
Yeah, give the other. It's just the guys who have to play are the ones. The question is it fair for teams that get to rest the majority of their players versus yours?
Do it. I mean, would pitchers do it to throw the high leverage innings in the middle of the summer?
I think that they would.
I think the World Baseball Classic being before the season was much better.
Okay, fair. All right, I'll give you that.
But this was. I mean, they were hitting. Shea Theodore did get hurt, the defenseman for the Knights, went into the boards. He did one snap, and that's bad. But
for the Knights, it's really bad. If he's out,
he's a ton of ice time. I mean,
he's out a lot. It's a really bad break for the Golden Knights.
Yeah, if he's hurt for a little bit, but I mean that could happen on a Tuesday in Ottawa too. So the fact that they respected the game and played it straight up, good.
Oh yeah.
I sign me up for that. Something about that international thing, it gets you, it grabs you.
Yeah, and in hockey as well. I mean, they really, when it comes to hockey, when the Canadians put that Team Canada jersey on, it brings out a lot in them. And when Team USA plays Team Canada, it's going to be an absolute war.
Saturday night, I have already built my whole day around watching that game.
Yeah, it's going to be a war. Full on war. No one's going soft. No one's taking their time. No one's taking it easy. They're going to be going after each other.
I don't know the financial arrangements that they made for these guys, but they're playing because they want to win. That's
right.
Yep. It's simply pride. And I want to win because we're playing against each other and I want to win. I mean, it's like when I play anything with the girls, I'm trying to win. I'm not, I don't ever let them win ever at anything because we're playing something and the goal of a game is to win. Can you win every game? No. But that was electric last night. The whole scene was electric. I'll be interested to see how a non-Canada team is tonight.
Two of them.
Right?
There's a lot of expats in Canada, though. There'll be a lot of USA people in that building tonight.
You think?
Yeah, and people
might be a lot of people rooting against the USA too. Oh, you froze. Hello, look at that.
Oh, any neutral will be against it.
Yeah.
Against Team USA. If you're a casual or you're a Canadian fan, you're cheering for Finland tonight. There's no debating on that.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. St. John's had their 10-game winning streak snapped last night at Villanova. Creighton had their 9-game winning streak stripped at home against UConn. Those two teams play for first place on Sunday in the Big East. If you're looking for something to watch on Sunday, St. John's hosting Creighton is going to be a war. That's going to be
Sunday morning affair.
I think so. Yeah, I think it's like a
Sunday
1
morning
o'clock.
up. Yeah,
1 o'clock Eastern.
Or something.
Yeah. But that's the game of the day on Sunday. Game of the day on Saturday is going to be in the SEC, but game of the day on Sunday is this one. Jay Billis called the SEC the most powerful basketball conference we've ever seen.
Ever
This year. This version of the SEC is the most powerful basketball conference we've ever seen in college basketball.
Because of the quantity of teams?
Half the AP top 10 are SEC teams. 9 of 16 in the entire conference are ranked. They have the 1 and the 2 right now with Alabama and Auburn ranked 1 and 2. They play on Saturday. It's the first time in the history of the SEC that we've seen the number 1 ranked and number 2 team ranked in college basketball facing off against each other in the conference.
Listen, got to tip your hat to them. The SEC, down year for football. Things were tough. All they did was go and completely figure out that basketball. Now they're a basketball conference.
But
so
this is
powerful,
true.
they killed the ACC. Wow, Ian lights out. You think so?
It's really, really good.
I'm not really, really good. It is the best, and it's by far. OG Big East has an argument. It did, but that was a long time ago.
But it wasn't 16 teams. Like the difference, I think the reason why I agree with the comment is because we haven't seen 16-team conferences long enough to fully recognize that when over half of the conference is ranked. Like that's really difficult to argue because you have a stranglehold on what you're going to see from a seeding perspective in the NCAA tournament.
Right.
I mean, there could be 2. I don't know if we see 3 number 1 seeds, but we could. It's not crazy. Like Alabama, Auburn are going to be right now number 1 seeds. Duke is going to be a number 1 seed. That 4th number 1 seed is very much up in the air. Florida very well might jump in and take that. So you could have Alabama, Auburn, Florida, all number 1 seeds in the tournament coming up. Like that's crazy. 3 number 1s from 1 conference. And then you have another 5 teams or 6 teams that are going to get in. Maybe more than that, maybe 7, maybe 8. They may get 11 or 12 teams of the 16.
I think 10 are getting in for sure. We've been saying that. I've been kind of watching it, trying to figure out like futures and who with the right draw could actually win and going, I think they're going to get 10. You're right. They may get 11 and outside shot at 12, but I think 10 for sure. Wow. Jimmy Jack said, and I still contend that none of them make the Final Four. I don't trust any of them when it's crunch time. Jimmy Jack with 4 Ks. Good to see you here, sir. Wow. Do you think that?
No, I disagree with that. I trust Auburn in crunch time. I do. I trust
Auburn.
Florida in crunch time.
Bama?
No.
TJ, are you watching right now, TJ?
I'll back him up on that. I don't trust Ryan Sears very much. I mean, he's not as bad as Caleb Love for Arizona, but he's almost as bad as Caleb Love. Sometimes he just does things that make you go, wait, what is going on? Like he'll shoot shots that don't need to be taken. They'll rush shots. Like they can be undisciplined at times. And that's just a typical Nate Oates team at Alabama. They can be questionable, free throw shooting and whatnot. But I don't know if I buy that. Tennessee, you don't trust
Chet. Give him a poll right now.
You don't trust Tennessee's defense? I mean, that is Tennessee's defense.
Any SEC teams make the Final Four?
Yes. Oh, that's not even no, that's not a poll. That's a yes. That's happening. I
don't know.
I don't know what I'll do. If an SEC team if one of the 4 has to be from the SEC, that is a catastrophic failure for the conference if they don't get a Final Four team.
Okay, so does one make the poll this then? How many teams make the SEC or make the Final Four from the SEC? 1?
Okay. Yeah, fair. That's a better question.
Or 0?
Yeah, 0 can be announced.
0, 1, or 2. Can we do 3 options?
Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah, we'll do that. because I don't think it's. I mean, I don't think it's 3.
No, yeah, I agree with that.
But depending on the way the bracket is, I guess it could be. If they get 11 teams in, they're going to have 11 of the 64 spots. You would think they would get at least 1.
I mean, it's not insane that could be all 4. I'll just say that. It's not. It's
That's
not
insane.
nuts. No, it's
That is
not.
nuts.
It's not. It's not insane. It really
This
is.
Galentine's thing has you crazy.
It's
This
not.
is no, there's
They've
not
got
getting 4 teams.
They have 9 ranked teams. The conference has 16 teams. 9 of them are ranked in the top 25. Like, it's ridiculous. If you look at KenPom, we haven't seen numbers like this. The KenPom rankings are this: Auburn 1, Florida 4, Tennessee 5, Alabama 6. They've got 4 of the top 6 teams on KenPom. Like, those 4 teams, depending on the bracket, those 4 teams could be the final 4.
Right.
And then we go Texas A&M is 12, Kentucky is 17, Missouri is 18, Ole Miss is 20. Like, these are not just rankings, these are KenPom numbers of the top 20. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 of the top 20 on KenPom.
10
Almost
would be
half.
half.
Almost half.
10 would be
stupid.
half.
8
It's
of
kinda
20
crazy.
is like, what the? It just depends on how. So again, Auburn, Florida, Duke is I think a very live national championship contender. But the more that I watch Florida, the more that I go, they could beat anybody. Florida could beat anybody anywhere. Like, get them on a neutral, like Florida to win the SEC tournament. And again, I'm going to say this again. The team that wins the SEC tournament is going to go through such a war. I can't wait to see what they got left over for the NCAA tournament, because it may be more difficult to win the SEC tournament than it is to win the NCAA tournament. Shorter games. You play Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3 straight games. That's with the double bye. And that's assuming you're not going to come on a Wednesday, because you could have someone go on a wacko run and play Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, play 5 games. But if you play 5 games in 5 days, you're probably playing 5 ranked teams in 5 days.
Oh, if you're playing on Wednesday, the only day you don't play a ranked team is Wednesday.
And you might actually play one. You might have to play one, like
Well,
a 22, 23, 24 ranked team. It'll be top 10, but
no, the bottom 4 teams in the SEC probably won't be ranked. I don't think. That's who plays Wednesday. But Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is a hell of a gauntlet. And then you got to turn around and do it again and play 2 games in 4 days in the first round.
So your bottom 4 teams right now
Of the SEC.
Of the SEC.
Yeah.
Are Texas, Oklahoma, LSU, and South Carolina.
Okay.
South Carolina's horrible. And LSU's horrible. So those 2 teams are garbage.
Right.
But Texas is not horrible. Texas is not. They've hit a swoon, but they're 15-10. Georgia is 5, which is nuts, because Georgia, I mean, they are the number 1 under machine on the road in college basketball.
Right.
They're
their games aren't fun. That
10-0 to the under
when you're playing them.
They're 10-0 to the under, which come tournament time, that actually works well for you.
Correct.
Because your legs are gone, you're tired, you grind it.
Yeah.
Wow. Auburn is minus 8,000 to earn a 1 seed. Okay.
It's an interesting market.
They're the 1 seed. Duke is 3,500. I would agree. But what's Alabama? Because Bama, if they win on Saturday, Bama will have they're probably a lock for a 1 seed if Bama wins on Saturday and beats Auburn.
1 versus 2, Auburn versus Alabama.
Hatred. TJ's already texted me.
It is, and it's not football. These schools are not far apart in the same state. Number 1 versus number 2 in basketball. It's pretty wild.
Very, very different. The NBA played 30 teams last night. Every team played last night.
All
28 of them.
Yeah.
28 of them scored 100 or more. 10 of them scored 120 or more last night. Do you like all the offense, or do you miss any defense in the NBA?
I feel like it's a different game in the playoffs. They play a little more defense in the playoffs. So I don't know if you like overs and you like props, you love this NBA.
Do you love this? Yahoo Sports reports this morning that 1,119 3-point attempts were made last night. There's over 37 attempts per game.
Wow.
Per team.
Over 37 per team made.
No, take it.
Oh, just attempts. Okay.
Just attempts.
Most ever in one day. Yeah, that's a little bit much. No?
37 a team, jacking threes. It's literally a 3-point shooting contest. That's what the NBA has turned into. Steph Curry has turned the NBA into a 3-point shooting contest.
Do you think it's – I mean, I almost feel like the league is trolling the fans because the fans are telling people and the media is telling everybody that nobody watches the NBA anymore and it's boring and it's just a 3-point shooting contest. And then they go and do this on the day that everybody plays. So you get all the games. There was a lot of blowouts last night. They were not great games. Good teams playing bad teams, I guess, which led to chucking threes. But I don't know, Jimmy Football. The low post doesn't exist anymore.
No thing. Back to the basket.
They're not even trying.
Back to the basket centers don't exist anymore. I mean, even Jokic stands out there and jacks threes. He's like the one guy you might say he plays with his back to the basket, but most guys don't.
Ian Lights out said the total in the Knicks-Hawks game was 297.
Yeah, it was 145 to 1. It was just something crazy.
I loved working in the book for a lot of things, and one of my responsibilities the last few years in the risk room was to do the NBA on a daily basis. The adjustments that you have to make on a day-to-day basis, like where you normally would put a total 230, I don't even know what the adjustment would be to this. I mean, open it 238. Like 8 points, Dave. Are you watching the games? They don't even try to take twos no more. They drive to kick it out, let alone in transition. They stop at the 3-point line and just shoot instead of taking a layup for the dunk.
The funniest time is when they kick it out from a fast break, 2-on-1 fast break.
Yeah.
And instead of going and attacking the rim, they'll go and drive and turn around and kick it to the corner for a 3. Like that used to be cardinal sin, basketball 101.
Automatic spot on the bench when you did that.
Come here, sit down. What are you doing? Lay that in. Don't kick that out for a 3. It's a horrible pass. Now it's encouraged. Now that's the right play, is to go and, hey, open 3, let him take it. Take the open 3. It's a different game altogether. I don't know. The NBA can't do much besides if they wanted to push the 3-point line back, they could do that. And
don't do that.
That's the only defense they've got.
Why would that help?
Make it more difficult a shot. Make it a deeper shot. There are some guys like Steph Curry will shoot from half court, but a lot of guys can't do that. A lot of guys try to do that and can't do that. So if you backed it up 6 inches or a foot, you might see less threes, or you might see more, poorer nights of shooting than we do now.
I don't know if I want to see poorer nights of shooting.
Okay. Fair.
I don't know. I mean, Pierre in the cut, I see you working in here. Why does every team play the same way?
Because the Boston Celtics just killed everybody, and that's why. That's why. They're all trying to be Boston.
Cash the bingo card for mentioning the Boston Celtics tonight.
They're the defending champs. Everybody's trying to copy what they play.
Play tonight.
No, I don't think so. They beat the Spurs last night.
Yeah, they don't even play tonight.
Ian Lights Out. I know you're kidding about the 4-point shot, but that has been floated. People have put out the 4-point shot option, saying, wait a minute, make it a 4-point, push it back far, make it 4 points. Get rid of the 3, make it a 4. Now, that's dumb. I agree. But there has been people who have tried to figure out ways to correct what's happening to stop the game from becoming just a jump shooting contest.
I think a better solution than that is to just take the 3-point line out.
No way. Can't do that. No, can't take the 3-point line out.
That's better.
End of game.
Adding a 4-point shot is better than just removing the 3?
No, you can't do the 4-point. It's just been floated. It's the same crap.
Why? Every shot's the same now.
They've been. You remember in the All-Star game, they used to have like the spots where you would run around into a spot, and they've thought about doing that. Have a 4-point spot.
The Globetrotters do that.
Yeah, try to do that. Like,
The
you know, have
Globetrotters do
hit a shot
that.
from inside a certain circle
Yeah.
to have it be a 4-time thing. It radical idea. Every basket's 1 point. Every basket's 1 point. Even free throws. That would be odd. So what would you call a free throw then? Half a point. So, like, there's just people are trying to figure out a way. The game's going to go in cycles. There will be a big man that will change the game, that will come in and be able to put his back to the basket and go back like we've seen with the NFL. We're going back to old school power football.
2 is not as much as 3.
That's true. But if you were able to be, if Shaquille O'Neal played today, would Shaquille be dominant?
Shaquille would be dominant.
He'd kill everyone, right? And he'd be
dominant in any era.
He would score 2s, right? So I think if they're just not a dominant big man right now. There's not anybody who is either A, working on their game because they're told at 7'1" to get behind the 3-point line, start shooting. You know, look at Ryan Cockbrenner, okay? Ryan Cockbrenner is 7'1" to 7'2" for the Creighton Blue Jays.
Plays like a guard.
This year, because he's been told he has to. He's a back to the basket center, but because of the draft and the way that the teams have told him, they told him to go back to college and work on your jump shot. So there was a game 2 games ago where Coach McDermott was standing 10 feet from Ryan Cockbrenner, late game situation. He jacked a 3. Coach McDermott turned around and couldn't watch. He was so mad. It went in. It went in, but he was like, oh my, he knew what he was doing. There's a whole viral Creighton video that with Jays fans that you see the coach go, well, there's the NBA. That's why you took that shot, because that was a horrible shot to take. Even if you were open, you took it in a late game situation. You made it. You're lucky you made it, because coach would have lost his mind on Cockbrenner if he had missed that shot.
What did he do? I didn't see the video. Did he go like, did he make a big?
He went. He just turned around. He couldn't look. Like he couldn't look. He's like, I can't believe the kid just took that shot. Like
He's so good on his
they baited Cockbrenner to shoot it.
Shoot it. Of course.
Go ahead, kid. Shoot it. Yeah, perfect. And then he hit it. And it was like, oh, all right. Well, they won the game by 10 points. So like it iced the game, but it was still a shot that Coach McDermott was like, we do not want you taking that shot. So that's a 7'1" kid that in the NBA would come in and would be a 10 to 15 minute guy off the bench who could rebound, plays back to the basket, get 5 or 6 points a game, get 4 or 5 rebounds. That's Cockbrenner's future. But he wants to play more than that. So now he's out there shooting 3s. Like a 7'1" kid shooting 3s because the NBA has told him, hey, you want to be a first round pick? You better get drafted. You'd be able to shoot 3s to get drafted. Sucks.
Oh, Daniel Abinah.
He's right on this. I would agree with this. They have zones. Zones are allowed, but the hand check would be great.
Bring back the hand check.
That might actually be a good idea. Bring back hand checking. You know, freedom of movement has really opened up the 3-point shooting. He's absolutely right. It's harder to get to the rim now than ever before. And it's one of those things where you want, it's easier to get to the rim than ever before. You want to make it harder for guys and make it have an incentive to actually drive the ball and not just stand out there and jack 3s. But your point of 3 versus 2, that's the problem.
That's the game. That's why
the math problem is hard to overcome.
Right. So if you make a 4-point shot, the 2 becomes obsolete. You can't have a 3 and a 4.
Yeah, that'd be horrible.
Right. That's it. I mean, it's just
it's horrible.
The better solution is to remove the 3-point line and make every shot the same. Foul
shots
shots are 1, baskets are 2. We go back to that. If you can shoot from
3-point play
25 feet, that's great. Otherwise, we're going to try to get closer. I mean, I don't want to take away the skill of shooting a 3-point shot. I mean, Steph Curry did change the game. Guy could shoot from anywhere. So
he buried one last night in Clay's face to ice the game. Buried it right in front of his former teammate's face. It was like, oh, that's cold. Steph is still ice when he has a chance to just bury something and stick a dagger in. He still got it.
I didn't see it.
Oh, end of game corner, just run it, boom. He just started doing his shimmy, and Klay Thompson is just like, oh, he hit it right in Clay's face.
Right.
And iced the game for the Warriors. It's a
Yeah.
big shot. Texas, get ready. It's a long shot, but it's a shot. You know, you're telling me there's a chance. 2 separate Texas sports betting bills have been introduced into the House. Flurry of activity. It is still an uphill climb, according to our guy, Linehan. How likely is it in your mind that Texas in the next 2 years will legalize sports betting?
to see the way the narratives start, because talking about, they got the Adelsons involved with the team and
Yeah.
the this and the that, and you start to see how the politics work. Butchie right away says it won't happen. Butchie doesn't believe anything's going to happen.
He's not wrong. It's still highly
it's a
unlikely.
long shot. It's a long shot, but
the trading of Luka could very well. I mean, if you want to play Machiavellian and you want to go ahead and say, they were playing 4-dimensional chess here with the Luka trade, that the anger is so high and they're nervous about what's going to happen for the entire state. And, Jerry Jones is not going to be as adamant as the Adelsons are, but the number 2, Dallas Mavericks were in the finals last year. The state may be forced to pay attention to fans who say, hey, just give them casino and sports betting. Everybody else has it. Oklahoma has it. They advertise into Dallas like crazy with WinStar. Like, clearly you guys don't have a problem with that. Let this happen. Build them a casino, build them a building with a casino attached, and legalize sports gambling mobile.
There's a lot of people in positions of power there that don't believe in gambling, period, let alone sports gambling. So,
but this is the theory from Stevie Anderson. This is the theory.
Texas may allow sports betting if the Adelsons are hell-bent on moving to Vegas to drive down attendance. I don't know about all that. I don't know if anybody's moving in the Mavericks, trying to move them here. I just think that they got to understand what they're getting into at this point with the sports betting and going, this is such a great business. We should definitely get this passed. I think their goal is to get the casinos passed. Like, you got to get a casino somewhere.
I know, but I think that will be just universal. I think if casino gambling becomes a reality, sports gambling will come with it. I think it's all in one swoop for Texas. The question is going to be is how do you handle with the religious objections that are going to come down in Texas? How do you overcome that? Because Texas is the second biggest GDP. New York might be 2 and Texas is 3, but California is 1. You have a top 5 GDP in this state, in this country state, that the number of people who are gambling in Texas is an outrageous number. We don't even know how big of a number it is because we know about how many oil people come here to Vegas. Most of those crazy, huge whale bets you see coming down are coming from Texas oil people. And a lot of them live in Houston. And a lot of them live in Dallas. And they've got, Jerry Jones is like pale by comparison as to what these people have in terms of dollars. Like betting, $20K in a game is nothing for these people. And so they come to Vegas and they blow it out, or they go somewhere to an island, they blow it out, or they bet offshore and they bet consistently. Or they have a local bookie.
I was going to say, or they got local guys. You lived in Houston.
Every corner there's a bookie. I mean, everyone in my damn radio station, there's 2 bookies. So like I knew of 2 kids you could bet with. Just they were on books themselves. So I'm not saying that it will be like Texas will be this incredible overnight success when it comes to tax revenue or whatnot. But there are so many people in Texas who are gambling. It's a 30+ million person state. Like, them going legal, it's already happening. Like, people are gambling like crazy already. Texans like to bet. Like, it's not a shock. They like to gamble. So give it to them, legalize it, take some of it.
Yeah.
You're not shutting off the black market. Okay. You're not going to close down all these, places. But I just remember in Houston, when I was there, they cracked down on these. There was a loophole in the law that allowed you to have a poker house if you were using it for raising money for charity. Like 51% of the money had to go to charity, and the other 49% could be left for the players. Well, they started, they opened it up and they abided by the law for like 6 months or so, and then they started to just matriculate it to 60%, 70%, 80%, 90%. The money that was going to charity got less and less and less. And so I remember there was a gigantic sting that happened across the city where they hit 3 of the houses all at the same time and arrested everyone that was inside, because it was like they all were then participating in this, illegal activity. They were at an illegal gambling house because it was not abiding by the law.
Mm-hmm.
So like they know this stuff goes on, and they look a blind eye to it until someone gets a hair across their ass and they want to crack down on it.
Mm-hmm.
It happens everywhere. Just start to take it away from the black market and make it legal. What happens. So
or just know that it happens and leave it there and don't get involved.
Well, that's an offshore dream. That's what the offshores want. Leave it alone. Don't touch it. Let them keep doing what they're doing. But every day, thousands of kids turn 21 in that state. They would love the chance to go and gamble. And they're leaving the state to go to Louisiana, New Mexico, and Oklahoma. Texas is surrounded by legal states.
I've never been to the casino in Oklahoma, but I've been told it's gigantic.
It's huge. WinStar's gigantic.
WinStar it does big business, and people would even drive there if they get legal sports betting. They would drive there to do it.
Right.
Like it would be big. So I don't know. Like I really felt like the California effort was disingenuous. It was never going to pass.
Fair.
I'll read some stuff, talk to some people down there. I mean, I know people that have went and bought websites that, bettexas.com and all this other stuff in advance of it, thinking maybe wishful thinking that it's going to happen. I mean, people make investments in stuff for the future all the time that don't pan out.
Mm-hmm. But that's one that
I would make the no price pretty big.
Ever or just next 2 years?
Just the next 2 years.
Okay. Yeah, I would agree. I think it's.
I mean, they're not even going to talk about it until November 2025.
Right. But the bills have been introduced. They're on. They've been. Yeah. But they're dealing with Dan Patrick, the lieutenant governor, who has major pull as to what gets put to a vote and what doesn't. You can introduce as many bills as you want. Dan Patrick still has to allow the vote to happen. And he can prevent, and there's all sorts of different things he can do to prevent the vote from happening. And regardless of whether or not you would pass or not, he won't even let the thing get voted on.
Yeah.
So 27 people have said that that's the most likely year that it happens, but that's not fast enough for the Adelsons. That they want to break ground now, knowing that sports gambling and casino gambling will be legalized. And they're building, they will rapidly build a casino and a hotel property and a building, a new arena for the Mavericks, which is why Mark Cuban sold, because that was the whole plan. They thought they had the votes. But, it's in war, and you're in Texas. You know about Dan Patrick. You know all about him. Guy's a menace. He just won't do it. he just
I don't know.
I don't know. I lived in Texas. Dan Patrick's a menace. I lived there. Yes, he's a menace. I'll say it. Dan Patrick's a menace. He's, Greg Abbott. You can say, well, you want about Greg Abbott.
Like gambling?
There's a million things he wouldn't do. He's got way too much power for lieutenant governor for a state the son of Texas. Dan Patrick has the way their laws are written in Texas, the way that they are allowing, the way that they run their government, it's bizarre. Like in a lot of ways, Dan Patrick has more power than the governor than Greg Abbott does.
Okay.
So it's just very strange. Yeah, Chris Warren, I would agree with that. There are properties built for casino expansion in Austin. Sure. Houston too. Dallas too. They're all just sitting there waiting.
Florida did the same thing. California did the same thing. I mean, I saw
the Florida got it.
The right. Well, kind of whatever they're doing down there. I'm going to go
Seminoles and Hard Rock.
Check it out. Yeah. But like I saw it in New Jersey before it was legal. Like they were like, this is where we're going to put the book. And I said, and this was 3 years before they got it.
Right.
It's like, you guys know you're getting a book. That's good. What is it going to be until then? A sports bar. Okay. So when it became legal, they kind of just were able to just throw it in there. But it didn't live up to what they thought it was going to be. Just keep that in mind.
Fair. I think that's fair. But I still think from a business standpoint, Texas and California going legal, I mean, we saw it with New York. $2,000 deposit bonuses, $3,000 deposit bonuses.
Oh boy.
Like there's people going to be moving to Texas to go and they won't care. Like the professionals, 50 to 100 guys who go down there to scalp, go ahead. They don't care. There's going to be thousands and thousands of others that are going to come pouring into the marketplace. At least for the first year, it would, you'd feel like, 2020 out and 2021 all over again across the country with expansion. So
the before COVID year, 2019 in New Jersey was a free-for-all.
And Texas and California would be even more so.
Correct.
Bigger states, more people, bigger handle, more liquidity. I can't wait.
We saw the numbers. I think Altruda put out the numbers with New York and what they did for the Super Bowl. Pennsylvania didn't do so good.
Nope.
But
They lost your home state, which is not a surprise, though, right? I mean, that's not
You
a
can't
shock.
control what people will bet. I used to debate this all the time. How are we on this side? That's what they bet. Well, did you move the line? Yes, we did. The ones that don't move the line, I have no sympathy for.
Right.
If you sat on Chiefs -1 and or 1.5 or 2, like meaning, yeah, if you sat at 1.5 and -2, I have no sympathy for you. I mean, you could have gone to 1, get some Chiefs money. But if you tried that, nothing you can do. 101.5 million in bets on the Super Bowl. A lot of them on the Eagles, according to
They
Purdy.
lost 6.5 million.
Yeah.
Futures
Happens.
market too.
But so they have the grading with the futures market applied. Another state has the grading without the future market applied. Nobody measures it the same, which is beyond strange. But bookies back were places where you lived. When the home team wins, they weren't happy. They were grumpy. The Eagles won the Super Bowl. Probably some people bet them. You should have flown someone there that you knew was betting the Chiefs.
Right.
Fly them there, even it out. The good thing is when you operate in all those states, it doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Pennsylvania pays. You use the New York money to pay Pennsylvania. We're okay. We're fine.
Right. This story popped, and I'm curious as to your take on it. Are you good with banning court storming?
You've done it. I've never done it. I think it's dumb.
Alabama's new AD, Greg Byrne, has a new suggestion as to how to fix it.
Wait, this is real?
If you court storm, you forfeit.
So you win the game as a team, and if we said that the home team, if they storm the field or the court, they're going to lose the game right then and there, that will stop it. Wow.
Here's my question. What would be considered a court storm? Because if I bring 10,000 fans to a game and my team loses, you know where I'm going. I'm going on the field. I'm going on the court. Auto win for my team.
Oh man, that's a good move. Actually,
I could dress up. Be like, bring all different, bring the home team's jerseys in colors. You can't even say, right before the game's over, you switch from your team to the other team and storm the court. This would be like, we win. Yay. I stormed the court. Because court storming in basketball is not hard. Like, it's hard to protect all the different angles you can have to get onto the court. Football's a little different because you got to sometimes jump down a good little distance to get to the field. So it's a little easier to stop people from jumping onto the football field. But for college basketball, this is not hard.
Driving people crazy this week. People sent me a text after Monday's show and said, "Are you all right?" I said, "Listen, he said some crazy stuff." Sorry, Will almost said it. And
I think I said
came
crazy
back.
stuff. A lot of people said to me that I was right. So it's like your people may think that, but my people don't think that. My people think that what I was saying was absolutely accurate.
Right about
some of my entire class watched the whole segment. They all agreed with me. All of them. All 15 kids in my class were like, "Why was he arguing with you?" So it's just a matter of your perspective as to how you are on that.
I understand, but this here, you flipping it and saying you'd storm the court to blow the game for the other team is a jag-off move. It's right, and it could be done. It's terrible.
It's why this idea is stupid. Like, even for any AD to even float this is dumb. You can't do this. You
can't do this. You cannot do this.
I don't know. I just can't figure out why the SEC is so adamant. Like, they were the first ones to put the fine for $250,000 on the home team if you rushed the court or stormed the field. You pulled the goalpost down. Like, that's part of the magic of college football. I get you want to protect people. I understand the danger of it. Yeah. But like, the SEC's got a real, like, this is a burr in their saddle type thing. They want this gone for whatever reason. And they keep on trying to raise the bar because it's not stopping. Like, teams are like, "Oh shit, I'll pay it." Like, if I am Vanderbilt and I beat Alabama, have at it, boys. Take that damn thing and walk down to the Cumberland River and throw the thing in the river, because they did that. That celebration was incredible when Vandy beat Alabama. Like, I don't understand why they want to get rid of that.
How about we just make going on the field of play, a court, a field, illegal?
Well, technically it is.
Well,
It is illegal, technically.
okay.
No one gets prosecuted
You're gonna,
aggressively, but
well, no, you're going to go to jail. You come on the field.
you do
or
go
the
to
court,
jail. I
you
mean,
go to jail.
Alabama's got a jail in their building. You do go to jail, technically. It's not like it's a misdemeanor. It's not a felony. It's not a serious crime.
We'll make it serious then. I don't think you need to do it. Like, it's fun and it's this and it's that.
What do they do? They already fined the team. They fined the team $250,000. They already do it in the SEC. It's $250,000. They fine you if you are rushing the court or storming a football field. That's the fine. And it's like, how high can you make it before it gets to be, punitive? Because obviously 250 is nothing.
I don't know. The football thing is so just, I don't know. I love the basketball court storm.
Storm the court, go to Guantanamo Bay for a year.
Wow, that's a bit much.
People would be there. It'd be like 10,000 people would be there.
Yeah.
If one football stadium does it, you'll have the island will be overrun.
Right.
Like, there's just too many people. Like, if a mass of humanity wants to do something, you're not stopping them.
Hockey, you can't get on the ice.
Right.
A hockey team wins, you can't get on the ice. If you have to jump over the boards. Like,
I
don't want them to have to put up boards for basketball and or football, but like, it was pretty understood at Penn State when I was going to Penn State that if you go on that field, that state trooper that's standing there with that gun could take you out. Like, he wasn't, but it was made known you will not step on this field.
So you think if Penn State beats Ohio State at home,
no one's going on the field. No
one's going on the field.
No one's going on the field. It's understood. Nobody's ever gone. They have never had a storm the field moment. They've
never
had big
in
wins
the history of Penn State, they've never stormed
I've
the field.
never seen it. I never.
Interesting.
It was made known you will not go on the field.
Well, right,
when
but
I
kids
was
don't
there.
say kids. I mean,
No.
every team says that. Every school says that. You will not go.
No. Like, you made it. You were made to feel like you would get shot like the longest yard. It was not. I've never seen it happen. Never. That doesn't mean it has or it hasn't. I could be off. Somebody find if Penn State's ever stormed the field at home. I don't think they have. Now, they broke into the stadium and took the goalpost when Penn State beat Notre Dame on the road.
Okay.
Kids got in there and took the goalpost to Jopa's house. So,
Daniel, you can't do that. You can't like stagger it and be like, "Hey, let the visiting team leave," and then jump on. That's not. Then they know it's coming. They just no, they can't happen.
I don't know.
They do throw snowballs according to Jimmy Football.
But like, so you've been at a storm court of basketball. I've never been.
No, yeah, multiple. I've been multiple.
It lasts what, 15 minutes?
No,
like
depends.
You rush onto the court and then everybody just disperses. Like,
it depends upon how big of a win it is, and it depends upon like for Omaha when they did it last year, because Creighton really didn't storm the court all that often because they hadn't had big wins. They finally beat UConn last year when UConn was number one, and they beat a number one team, and they stormed the court. They stayed there for like a half an hour. The police had to come and break them up. Just depends upon how the police or how long they want it to go on for.
What are you doing out there on the court for a half an hour?
Jumping around, kids jumped up on the court on the rim. They were hanging on the rim, and kid was sitting on the rim.
That should never happen.
I mean, all that stuff happens. I mean, I told you I was there when South Carolina beat Alabama in Dennis Franchione's year, and all the kids stormed, and it was the scariest thing in the world to be on the field.
On the football field.
On the football field, scared the crap out of me. I thought I was going to die. Like, there were so many. And if you're the police and your job is to protect the coach, and you see 5-6 kids rushing at you, I gave the police a ton of credit because they have to really assess quickly whether this is a drunk kid just trying to run by the coach and screen something, or is this kid an actual threat that I got to take out and I got to make sure the coach is going to be safe.
Thank you to the guys in the chat. Robbie Bell just sent me the text. There's that one. Penn State storm. Thank you, Sonic.
That's what I thought. You guys hate Ohio State a lot.
Okay, so that was one. And I think it might have happened one other time. So in ever.
Happened in
football.
05. When you see
When Penn
Ohio
State
State again,
beat
it's
Ohio
all
State.
you guys hate
Okay.
Ohio State. So when you beat Ohio State at home, I could have seen a court. So that would make sense. You got to storm the court for Ohio
Two
State.
times ever it's happened.
Yeah.
there. But
Why I hate Ohio State? Why the Ohio State hate? Yes, they hate because Ohio State has been Penn State's big brother for a long time.
still mad from that
They
1993
hate 'em.
game
Yeah.
when Penn State joined the Big Ten and won
Because Penn State's
63 to nothing.
Pitt and West Virginia look up to Penn State, and Penn State looks up to Ohio State. That's just how the pecking order goes. It makes sense. And so when you
They're
upset
the
them,
state geographical rivals.
Yeah.
They compete for the same kids in recruiting, or they used to. Now
Right.
that Ohio State just pays that much more, they don't.
although you
it's
guys
fine.
just paid it. You have the highest.
Although,
paid,
hey, we got the bank now.
you
Let's
have
go,
the highest
baby.
paid. You have the highest paid assistant coach in the history of college football.
I
So it's
love
not like
that.
you guys aren't spending money.
I love that.
And you took him from Ohio State. Matt Patricia, by the way, is the replacement for that guy at Ohio State.
What do you think of that?
Patriot fans are laughing. They're like, okay,
What do you
Ryan.
think- what do you think Penn State fans are saying?
Loving it. They should love it. They're like, okay. I don't know. That's a weird hire, but more power to them. That's what you want to roll with. Okay. More power to
So
you.
you got Ryan Day and you got
Matt Patricia.
Matt Patricia on the staff. I mean,
Beard
you're not
game is-
really so much media savvy. I
Oh.
don't. Good luck with that, Ohio State. I'm excited for you as a Penn State guy
You
who's
should be.
actually paying people now. That's good.
Time for a quick better.
Whole show in this thing here. I think we're good because
quick. Yeah.
I sent Bob a text. I said 9:50, so we're
Oh, okay. All right. There we go.
full
Great.
full
Okay.
show.
We can do it all. That's
Yeah.
good.
Finish, we
What do
finish.
what do you make of Team USA tonight against
We're
Finland?
winning.
There's nothing. This is a mismatch. Like looking at this game, you pointed this out to me last night, and I went and looked at it and was like, "You're absolutely right." I mean, goaltending wise, how many goals did Hellebuck give up tonight? 1, 2?
I think 2 max. But it
4,
could
2,
be
5,
1.
2 win. I mean, Team USA is going to score a lot tonight. I mean, they
4,
just have
2.
the third line for Team USA is full of 30-goal scorers. Like there's a very big difference in talent tonight offensively for Team USA.
I can't wait to see them play together. Like the fun of watching great players is when they play together and they can do the stuff that they do in practice and that they just will do something different. I mean, just seeing Sid send that pass backwards and McKinnon was right there. And it was just like, whoa, baby, let's go. I think the USA is going to control the puck a lot tonight.
Mhm.
I think they're going to get a lot of opportunities. I think they're going to outshoot Finland by a bunch. Finland has to, I mean, they're beat up and they have to play a very defensive game. I think it's going to be tough for Finland.
Look at Jordan Goroff. The world's going to start to know how realized Jack Eichel is.
True.
Smoking like a true golden knight.
This is true, though. I mean, but he's going to play on a line. It's going to be good.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
going to be good. The only thing that gets them, and I don't even want to say it after the Super Bowl, is if they get a bunch of penalties and they're in a penalty box and they're shorthanded.
Okay.
and
But then
this
that's where
game is
Hellebuck comes
played
in, though.
differently.
But
Well, no,
Hellebuck-
he'll keep it low scoring, but
Yeah.
that would lead to the under.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
the game goes puck line, and I do like the over. Adam with 2 M's, 2.555. First thought is over 5.5.
Yeah, I hope you're right because I need that. I
4-2.
mean, it's hard to see the puck line cashing without an over. So
You
I'm
can
not-
win this thing 3-0.
Could. Yep. Ooh, how about a gift? You goal in the first 10? Canada did it in the first minute. It was goal in the first. It was a
There was
gift.
so much emotion in that building, and it just went like that. That was a good bet yesterday. It's only minus 120. That's probably not a bad bet either.
Team USA with being pumped up and excited to get out
Yeah.
there and score. Favorite thing about today is what?
You don't have one college basketball game today?
They suck, all of them. The board is garbage. Maryland, Nebraska, bet Nebraska. That would be the only thing that I would go with. Other than that, I don't want any part of it.
Moorhead State is playing Lindenwood.
That sounds like a phenomenal game to watch, not bet.
Moorhead against Lindenwood.
So we're betting games based on double entendres.
I got the wood +2 at home.
Good, you can have it.
That's got to be a play.
Why? No, it has not.
Give me the wood. What do you think they call themselves? I don't even know.
I don't know either.
Wood.
No idea.
Cal Baptist is playing UT Arlington, laying points on the road.
Thursday and Friday in college basketball have become absolute deserts. Like there's just nothing. They're all small conferences.
Yeah.
Kansas City's at South Dakota. Florida Gulf Coast is at Austin P. Albany's at UMass Lowell. Drexel's at Hampton. Like these are not good games. San Francisco's at Gonzaga, but the number just is too big. It's 14. Like it's a revenge spot for Gonzaga, but it's like no. Like I can't get behind. I can't recommend and play that. Like I just can't.
Man, oh man.
Stupid.
Yeah, there's gonna be it's gonna be a tough in-game live tonight on SportsGrid
for college basketball. I mean, the 5 NBA games aren't interesting. I looked at the NBA games and they're just not.
They're not.
No, not to me. They're not.
They're just check here.
They're just not that interesting. The NBA games are Oklahoma City at Minnesota, Golden State
at Houston, which is now 6.5.
And I asked you last night, why was it 1.5?
Why was that right? What was that?
And I should have just bet it because I was looking at it going, what the hell is 1.5? And I was like, I told you, this should be 5. And so I asked Terrell Furman, who I do a Tuesday show with him for Betting Pros. I was like, what is going on? And he was like, I don't know. He's like, they're both on back-to-backs. And I was like, I don't get this number. Golden State should not be a 1.5 2-point dog. And now it's 6. So like, that's just on me.
LL said Curry's questionable to rest.
Oh, so well, okay.
He's not playing. That would make the number move. But even then, it was a little light.
I couldn't get over it. I was like, why isn't lay it with Houston 1.5 or 2, and now it's 6, and now it's unplayable. It was, I can't lay 6 when I could have laid 2 last night.
Right. Sacramento at New Orleans. You're right. Heat at Mavericks.
Right. So
OKC Thunder at Minnesota.
Sacramento, New Orleans. Ooh.
And the Clippers at the Jazz. Yeah, we don't really have much.
Yeah, and they're all on back-to-backs because they all played last night. The whole team, the whole entire league played last night.
Because they're trying to,
All-Star break. It's the last, right, and this is the point. You never bet the day before the All-Star break. Yes, wacky things happen. Day before the All-Star break, I want no part of it. So I punted on that. For the juice, I bet golf. I bet Patrick Cantlay, top 20.
You did?
Yeah, because it's California. He loves in California. He's finished in the top 20 in 5 of the last 6 Genesis Invitationals. It was plus 165.
Wow.
So that's I had to bet golf. Nothing else to bet.
And you bet like wet golf.
Yes, because he's used to playing out there. He knows how to play California.
Oh, okay. That's fine. Because this is like, can you imagine they move, this would have been the Genesis, but fires burned down that course. So they're playing in San Diego.
Yep.
And it's raining a lot.
And Tiger's not playing. Tiger was going to play and then Tiger pulled out.
Right. Yeah. This is going to be, that's a tough one to handicap.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about today, couple things. One, it's Butchie's birthday today.
Hey, happy birthday.
Wish Butchie a happy birthday. I mean, once you turn 60, everything is, even more up. That's little. Look, we'll move the number. He's not 60, but he's close. He's close. I can say it because, I talked to him. He's got some big things going on in his life. As you get older, you really cherish those days and you cherish the little things that you have with the people in your lives, with work, with all that other stuff. So, Butchie, LL, look, we share a birthday. Happy birthday to LL. Happy birthday to Butchie. That's good. Yeah, you can't reach me. You can. You know how to reach me, but I don't always answer. Neither do you. Como estás? I'm going to learn how to speak Spanish and really speak to you. My other favorite thing about today is I got Clint Hurdle's book.
Oh, nice.
In the mail. Okay. And I told him I would read it. It's called Hurdleisms. Clint Hurdle managed the Pirates after he managed the Rockies, after he had a playing career where he had extremely high potential and didn't live up to it because, in his words, he was a screw-up. And he turned it into managing and motivating people. Hopefully we get him lined up to be on the show next week to talk about the book and
Let's go.
talk about spring training and talk about baseball. I might meet him in Florida
Oh,
the
wow.
following week when I go down. I'm trying to, make some arrangements to go to a book down there and to get us a spot to maybe do a show down in Florida. So we'll get that worked out. But favorite thing about today, just think about again those special people in your lives, and we don't need to wait to Galentine's Day to come and hang out and talk. Sometimes a phone call's enough.
Right.
It can just be, hey, what's going on? Or like that commercial that I saw replay in my timeline from Budweiser back in the day for the Super Bowl when he said, "What's up? What's up? What's up?" Sometimes I used to call friends all the time and say that exactly, talk for 5 minutes, and then hang up. What are you doing, B? Drinking a beer, drinking a Bud, watching a game. That was the commercial. 30 seconds of dudes answer the phone saying, "What's up?" I got Galentine's Day. What the hell is that?
I don't.
Galentine's Day.
I do not know. Favorite thing about today is that, well, there's 2 points. I'm not in snow yet because I'm going to be in a ton of snow tomorrow and Saturday and Sunday and Monday. I haven't experienced, I was trying to think in the back of my head, is like, when was the last time I actually experienced a real New England winter? And I think it was 6 years ago. So I haven't been in like.
And you're going back to this by yourself, right?
Oh, yeah. No Madeline.
Same.
Yeah. Just me. Yeah. So it's Snowmageddon. Yeah. That's what I'm going back to. And so my favorite thing about today is that I'm here today, and then tomorrow it's not going to snow. It's just going to be cold on Valentine's Day. Yes, I am participating. Yes, I am going to be doing, the Valentine's Day stuff tomorrow. And then Saturday, a gigantic storm is going up the eastern seaboard.
We might need to do it. We might need to do a Twitter Spaces on Saturday
just to get it. You want the lay of the land?
just a boots on the ground report. BVB is actually in Boston.
Well, here's the fun thing about Twitter Spaces now is that you can do video now. So like we can do a video chat.
I think this is what we need to experiment before we get Elf on the show.
Okay.
We'll do it. We'll do it.
I can show you this. I can show you how hard it's snowing on Saturday. I can just sit outside in Manchester and show you how all the everything, layered clothing. This is the thing. I have to pack. We're getting off the air here, and I'm going to go pack for the trip. I'm not prepared for the level of how much I have to bring for 9 degrees with snow.
I don't think seriously, you shouldn't leave your house. Just go get food and stock up and stay.
Well, I'm doing the show Monday through Friday. We're doing the show from
at the house.
At the house. So I'll be in the basement, but I'll be at the house. So like, I'm not going to leave much from Monday to Friday, but on the weekend I will. I'll be in Boston on Friday night. We're staying over in the city on Friday night. So I'm landing and then going to dinner and then staying in a hotel Friday night before we drive back on Saturday. But there's some question about driving back on Saturday because of the storm. So it's going to be an interesting 24 hours. Yeah.
Okay.
I have to check a bag, which I hate to do. I hate checking bags because
traveling
traveling in the winter, I can go for a week. You can do this too. You're a guy. We can go for a week with, 2 pairs of jeans, 3 sweatshirts, couple t-shirts, couple of shorts, and we're good. Like that's all we really need.
Of course.
You can't do that in the winter.
No,
I need
bulkier.
I need 2 winter coats. I need 2 sets of boots. I need 3 or 4 sweaters. It sucks. Like it's such a different way of traveling that it's not like it's so much more heavy and so much more difficult to travel in wintertime when it's really winter versus like what morning was it? A couple mornings ago here, it was pretty cold. And like I walked outside in shorts. It was like 20 degrees today. And I was like, this is what my mind tells me. I could wear shorts outside, but I can't because it's 20 degrees. We were having like a real winter. Like there it's 9. Like it's just not going to be like
no, shorts at 9 is no good.
No way. So yeah. Am I soft? Yes, I will. There's no debate. I am completely and totally soft. 10 years ago, I would have gone like, what are you talking about? Like, who cares? It's 10 degrees. Suck it up. You'll be fine. Nope. Blood is thin. on blood thinners. It's a whole problem.
It's terrible.
It's bad,
you get
bad on
cold
everyone.
quick. You get cold quick.
So
That's
bad.
it.
Will, we gave you the whole show here
Whole show,
internalized
baby.
in one thing. So good stuff. Tomorrow, Newbie's in for me. I'm on a plane back to New England. Newbie's in with Dave. We're back to an afternoon show, 2:30 Eastern time, 11:30 Pacific
Correct.
time for BVB. Those guys will take you through everything. I'm on a plane at 11 o'clock. I'll be in the chat. I'll try to hop in on the chat. I got a 5-hour flight to do nothing. So I'll probably be sitting there chatting. I'll be a brigade member watching and listening and being in the chat tomorrow while I'm on a plane flying back to Boston. He is Dave. I am Matt. Happy Galentine's Day, boys. Jesus. V-Day tomorrow. Black Friday. Do your thing. BVB tomorrow here with Matt, me gone, Newbie in with Dave.